Hello and welcome to another yet amazing Blue Radio podcast. And today we're privileged to have a very important person from who is going to be talking about road safety and behavioral change. And my name is Andy, and sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. So I'm going to give him a chance to introduce himself, and please tell us who you are and what organization you work with, and basically what you do.
Asante Andy, I think you've introduced me as a very important person, but I would like to also say I'm less important, but the topic that we're just about to talk about will be more important.
Yes.
Asante for having me. My name is Kevin Ismael.
Yes.
I work as a communications coordinator for the Bloomberg Philanthropies Initiative for Global Road Safety, whereby we work with the county government of Mombasa and all other road safety stakeholders right here in Mombasa and at the national level. What we are trying to do as an initiative is to enhance road safety and build capacity and provide technical support for all the road safety stakeholders that we work with, to see that we are taking the road safety issue more seriously, for us to be able to save lives, because we are losing a lot of lives on the road, and it's something that we actually need to look at very seriously. So we're coming in as a supporting partner, working together with the National Police, National Transport and Safety Authority, but also looking at how best we can be able to reduce road fatalities within the city or the county government of Mombasa.
And when we talk about the road fatalities, do you have any statistics that maybe after looking at it, you saw it was maybe that is what inspired maybe to start doing this?
If you look at the road safety, is a serious major concern, not only in our country but globally, because we lose a lot of people every year on our roads. If you look at it at the global map, we lose over 1.3 million people every year. Those are people that die as a result of road crashes. But besides that, there are up to 50 million injuries, on the road. That is at the national, at the international level or the world level. But if we come to the local level, which is our country, we lose over 4,000 people every year. And the graph has been going up, not down. Like we are not, the road fatalities are increasing day in, day out. Which is something that is concerning. The road safety kills more people than what COVID did or than malaria does. Some of those issues that are health issues that are considered as very big. So these numbers are not just numbers. These are family members. These are people that contribute to the economy, and it's very critical for us as stakeholders to look at what we can be able to do. And that is why, as an initiative, as a road safety initiative, we have come together to look at how we can collectively come up with solutions that can be able to reduce these fatalities.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So are you getting any help from the maybe local government?
We are working very closely with the county government of Mombasa, and it's actually been very supportive in working collaboratively with us. They have supported us. We have done joint media campaigns that are aimed at influencing behavioral change and reducing road fatalities. A recent campaign we did was this December, where we did a campaign at the county level and at the national level, where the county government played a very critical role, which is something that is very critical when it comes to talking about road safety. Government involvement and government taking lead is something that is very important, and so we appreciate that the stakeholders that we work with, even the National Police, the National Transport and Safety Authority, are very welcoming. We are collaborating, and we are actually embracing the World Health Organization Safe System Approach System, which talks about let us collaborate, let us come together, let us collectively look at how best we can be able to reduce road fatalities and save lives.
Amazing. So for someone watching this and wondering what is behavioral change,
yes,
would you kindly define that to someone?
As part of my work as a communications coordinator, what we aim to achieve is behavioral change when you talk about road safety. And I would say behavioral change is in simple words, it's more of like, shifting our perspective on how we do things, on how we see things, on how we view, road safety. And behavior change, of course, also influences change in terms of, we reduce the fatalities on the road. The drivers are more responsible on the road. Enforcement is being done in a way that it is supposed to be done. And so I would say that is really the aim. And behavior changes, of course, definitely end through capacity building. It's also achieved through the campaigns, mass media campaigns that we are running across different platforms. Maybe it be the mainstream media, or in radio, or in newspapers, or even in billboards. Besides communicating, what we hope to achieve is, to see that people are actually responding to these messages, and we are seeing change when it comes to, how do we use pedestrian walks, how do we use zebra crossing, what sort of speed limits are we, using when we're driving our cars on the road. And we hope, that's ideally a behavioral change, and that's what we are doing. And we hope that, we will be able to see all Kenyans and all road users change their perspective and their way of using the road, and be more mindful of. If you're a driver, be mindful of, the pedestrians. If you're a pedestrian, be mindful. Use the designated areas of walking, of crossing the road, to avoid, causing any sort of road fatalities or road crashes.
Yeah. What is the reception? For example, if you're doing trainings, how is the reception?
That's a good question. I think the reception is great so far, specifically even in terms of the capacity buildings that we have been doing. We have been doing a lot of capacity building, and majorly from my end, I've been working with the journalists within the city of Mombasa. And I can definitely say that there is change in how we are reporting. We are reporting from a more of an informed perspective in terms of, what is road safety, what is the data and the statistics that is there. And so I would say the reception is good, but there is more that can be done. Again, it requires a collective effort, and it's not achieved in a day. So the more we collaborate, the more we create platforms where we can talk about these issues and road safety itself, the more we see change, which is what we are aiming to see change, and to see that we are reducing the number of fatalities or deaths that we are seeing on our roads every single day.
All right. Are there any social media pages? Do you have social media pages where people can go to find more information on behavioral change or road safety?
There are so many. We work with a lot of partners who put out a lot of information, and especially when it comes to behavioral change. One of our partners is Vital Strategies, and there is the Vital Strategies website has a lot of information that can actually be very helpful when it comes to understanding campaigns, understanding why data is important to when talking about road safety. So there is the World Health Organization also website. They actually also have an app that you can actually download and look at the data that is there, compare it with what is happening in Kenya and other parts of the world. And so I would say that there's a lot of information on road safety. So it's upon us as media to disseminate this information and ensure that it reaches the public, for us to be able to see that we are experiencing behavioral change and we're saving lives.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. We'll take a short break, and then when we come back, we'll continue with more.
You're listening to Blue Radio, bringing the vibe.
All right, welcome back. This is Blue Radio Podcast, and today, as I told you earlier, we are privileged to be speaking to Mr. Kevin, who is a champion of road safety and behavioral change. So, Mr. Kevin, I want us to talk about, I want us to address our listeners who are pedestrians, drivers, the people who are using the roads on a regular basis. So when we talk about behavioral change, what are some of the things that a pedestrian can do, according to you? What do you think they should be doing?
Let me put it in Swahili in a way that I would say that usalama barabarani ni jukumu la kila mmoja wetu, si jukumu la polisi au jukumu la wale ambao ni wa NTSA, ni jukumu la kila mmoja wetu. Kwa hivyo na ikiwa ni jukumu la kila mmoja wetu, responsibility inaanza na wewe kibinafsi. So it's very important kama wale pedestrians, wananchi ambao wanatembea. Kwanza ukiangalia statistics za Mombasa, almost half of the population in Mombasa ni watu wa kutembea barabarani. So la muhimu ni tukue very 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 careful, tukue waangalifu, tuangalie ni kipi ambacho kinahitajika kufanyika. Ikiwa ni zebra crossing, tunatumia the right zebra crossing. Ikiwa ni footbridges ambazo zimetengwa sisi kutumia, tutumie. Ikiwa ni pedestrian walks zile ambazo zimetengwa kwa watu kutembelea, tutembelee. Na pia madereva wakuwe pia waangalifu, kwa sababu unajua anaweza kuwa anaendesha gari lakini anasahau pia yeye akitoka kwa gari atakuwa pedestrian at one point. So we are all pedestrians at one point, and it's very important that even the drivers take note of that and be very careful when you're driving. Be mindful on how you're driving on the road. Just be considerate of all road users. Kuna wale wanaendesha kwa high speeds, even kwa school zones ambazo zimewekwa drive at 20 km/h, ama pale kwenye CBD town you're supposed to drive pole pole, kwa sababu ni watu ni wengi. Na pia tukue waangalifu, tukue watu makini, ambapo pia zile speed limits ambazo zimekuwa set kama drivers tuzitumie. Kuna swala ambalo umelizungumzia la design and infrastructure. Kuna changamoto mingi sana ambazo zipo katika kuaddress mambo ya road safety, na moja wao ni designs za barabara zetu. Na najua kuna wale ambao washikadau tunashirikiana na wao ambao sasa hivi wanaangalia ni kipi tunaweza fanya ili kuhakikisha kwamba we redesign our roads so that they're able to address the road safety issues that we are facing and protect even the most vulnerable, who are the pedestrians. And so that is very critical. I know that there's a big challenge there, but I'm sure the more we talk about these issues, the more the media talks about these issues, the more the responsible government agencies also look at it and address the issue. And I believe that as the media we have a very big role in ensuring that we hold all the stakeholders accountable in addressing the challenges that we are facing in road safety to save lives.
Amazing.
Yeah,
that is awesome. So as we conclude, I'd like you to address, generally address people, for example, I heard someone say that in everyone who is driving on the road, if you're a driver, you're the only sane person on that road. What do you think about that?
I think the most important thing is to know that you have to be very mindful and careful when you're using the road. There's one thing that I can talk about when you talk about sanity and road users. In the current age and in the current time that we are facing there's a lot of mental problems that we face too. So unaweza pata wale ambao wako kwa barabara, si kila mmoja ambaye labda akili yake iko pale. There's a lot of distraction, mambo ni mengi. But let's be careful on the road. Let's be mindful on the road. Let's ensure that we're even protecting the most vulnerable, watoto kwenda shuleni, wale ambao wanatembea. Let's just be careful on how we use our roads so that we are able to save lives and protect even ourselves. Kwa sababu utapata road safety is a big burden economically, kifamilia pia. You will see that if someone is a breadwinner and they lose their legs or they lose their hand, they are no longer able to go and look for money to come and feed their family. The other time we went for a visit at the Coast General Hospital, and most of the cases of road crashes are caused by, most of the cases that are received there are border riders, and these border riders ni wako katika harakati ya kutafutia familia zao, but most of them utapata they get involved in an accident or a crash. They spend a lot of money and a lot of time in hospital and out of hospital, and at that time there's no one else now who is looking for income so that will help the family. So road safety is a big challenge, and what I can urge the public, sometimes you see, just think if it were you ambayo umekuwa involved in a road crash, kwa sababu leo inaweza kuwa ni mwingine, kesho inaweza kuwa ni wewe. So what can you do to avoid getting into that situation? Let's be mindful and careful while we're using the road to protect everyone. I'd mentioned about our visit to the Coast General Hospital, where we learned that there are a lot of cases of border riders who have been involved in road crashes, and there are so many cases. And one of the big questions you'll ask yourself: why are we experiencing so many cases? There's a lot of recklessness and a lot of ignorance when it comes to observing traffic rules and traffic regulations, and you probably find that is the reason as to why we're having this many cases. So there's a challenge of regulation when it comes to the border industry. It plays a very critical role in building the economy, but there is need for us to look at that particular industry and offer some sort of regulation so that we protect and save lives. And so those are some of the cases that we noticed there, and that's why I'm emphasizing on the need for us to be careful on the road, to be mindful, and just to think of you as a person. It could be you today, and think of that person that has spent a lot of money in the hospital and a lot of time in the hospital, so that that changes everything. Because you see, today, my brother, if you are to be involved in a road crash, umepata ajali, you'll spend a lot of time in the hospital, meaning you're not able to do what you do on a daily basis. And if you are the one person that is providing for your family, that leaves you to now begging and asking your family members and friends to. So it's very important that we consider that when you're using the road, it could be you, and that's why we are saying that you don't have to behave only when you see the police, or when you see NTSA. And the responsibility begins with you, and you're not doing it for anyone, you're doing it for yourself, and that's the most important thing.
Right. So when you're talking about the police and people acting when they see the police, how do you handle this story of corruption? Because some people are driving faulty cars, and it's not because they are not police officers on the road. Wamepatana lakini wamepewa chai.
And that's what I'm saying. It's a collective effort. We recognize that the challenges that we are facing as a country, when it comes to enforcement, when it comes to compliance, so it's an issue that needs to be looked at holistically, so that we are not able to find kuna gari ambazo hazifai kuwa barabarani, ama kuna wale ambao wako barabarani na hawajahitimu kuwa barabarani. So it's a problem that needs to be addressed. And I think when we talk about behavioral change, us as the media, we need to address these challenges, and we need to talk more about these issues, so that we see also that those responsible are changing their behavior, and they're doing what is expected of them.
Yes. And, is there something that your organization has done maybe to help the county government?
Yes, I started by saying that we're working very closely with the county government and the road safety stakeholders. And what we are doing as an initiative is looking at where are the gaps and how can we support. I talked about the media trainings and workshops that we've been having that is supposed to help the media build capacity in how they report on road safety. It's been successful. I think this is the 4th journalist training that we have done here in Mombasa, and we have also done at the national level in collaboration with NTSA. When it comes to the enforcement, those are colleagues in the police force. One of our partners, the Global Road Safety Partnership, GRSP, has been working very closely with them in providing training on best practices when it comes to enforcement. They are also being equipped with the necessary tools to ensure that even as they do the enforcement, they are supported by the necessary tools. And I think what is underway right now is that there are some laser guns or speed guns that are being donated by the Global Road Safety Partnership, which will help the police in their work. Working with the county government, we are helping them to strengthen their data systems when it comes to road safety. So a lot of data that is being collected. We have a surveillance team that works with the county government and the police in collecting data and coming up with reports that have the right numbers of figures in terms of what are the fatalities, which are the key hotspot or black spots, and what sort of interventions that can be put in place. One of our partners, also the GDCI, is supporting the county government on a cycling project that is also supposed to, develop a cycling corridor from the bridge all the way along Links Road all the way to City Mall. That is a project that is underway, and there are so many other aspects on how we are collaborating and working together. And I'm happy that there is progress that is being made, and hopefully we'll be able to see change and see that we are saving lives and reducing fatalities.
Amazing. Yeah. So as we've heard, this is a collaborative effort. When it comes to road safety, behavioral change, it starts with you and me as a driver outside there, as a pedestrian, as a county government official. It's a collective effort. So I would like, as we conclude, maybe there's something you wanted to speak about, maybe hatuja kuuliza.
Your parting shot.
I think tulizungumzia kila kitu, just to really emphasize on the need for us as Kenyans and as everyone and every road user to be responsible when you're on the road, kukuwa mwangalifu, be obedient, be respectful, be mindful, and let us work together in saving lives and protecting lives, because it is our collective responsibility as Kenyans.
Thank you very much. That has been a Blue Radio podcast.